Okay, here we're going to take a look at Beau's July 2014 assessment. You'll see him running here full speed, followed by half speed. He's done an amazing job. He's been here just shy of 90 days, and his assessment was phenomenal. So these kind of gains are hoped for, but often not doesn't happen. But he did very good here. So we're going to take a look at how he drives out here. We're going to start from the upper body and work down. His hand drive height is at a good height. His arms are in an L shape. His shoulders are square, and everything looks good at this point. We're going to see some things as we go forward that we need to kind of work on. However, all in all, right here, everything looks really good. Yeah, so we'll take it forward here. Hang on one second. All right, let's go forward right here. And we'll stop it about close to 10 yards, maybe a little more than 10 yards. And we'll take a look here. All right, so his shoulder is still kind of actually dipping down a little bit. You can see the left shoulder. And his arms are still in a good place, but if you've noticed how he's kind of leaning, that red line there should actually go from his belly button and split his eyes. So he's slightly off axis, off line right there. He's kind of more or less rocking from side to side. So it's very slight, but as you know, when you're talking about tenths of seconds, every little thing that you can do to make it better is what you want to do. So we need to address that. And his chest is kind of turned out, and he has a tendency to kind of lean over too much. After the drive phase is over, he needs to go ahead and stand more upright. When you lean over your legs after the drive phase is over, you're kind of driving them down into the ground, and it makes it hard to kind of come up to where they need to be. It's hard to tell exactly where his knee is in this because of the type of pants he's wearing, but it does look like his knee drive height is pretty good. Mine can come up a little bit more, but all in all, I think if he straightens up his chest and runs a little more upright once he gets rolling, then those knees will come up a little bit easier, and he'll find that it'll be a little easier to run as well. Obviously, here's his biggest problem, and we talked about this. We know he's got some feet problems, and I know he strikes and his foot turns out, and we kind of document all that. But the main problem here is that he's striking extremely far back on the heels, and we got to get him to quit doing that. I bet you if we could get him to strike correctly on the ball of the foot and flip it through, that we could probably get another 0.2 of a second just off of that alone. So the main thing for him is going to be to get those feet where they need to be, and we'll work on that as he continues to come and train here. Looking at his vertical here, he did phenomenal. Some technique issues I like to work with him on, not looking up until he jumps, and trying to keep his body somewhat straight without torquing sideways. You'll notice how he kind of lands and turns his whole body. So we'll work on that. But 18 inches, that was a 4-inch gain from 3 months ago. Standing broad jump was 5 foot 3 inches, up from 4 foot 6. So his explosiveness has gotten a lot better in the last 3 months, which is going to help him off the ball in football and really any other sport that he plays. It'll be a great attribute for him to have. Looking at the lateral speed, now this is one area, actually the only area that we did not improve. We still hit 15, so probably those feet, working on those feet, striking correctly, and then a lateral movement is probably the two biggest things that we want to kind of tackle right now for him. We're going to take a look at his scores here, and you'll notice here he pretty much killed every category. 67 push-ups versus 53, plank time was a minute more, 10-yard was a tenth better, 2 tenths better than the 20, and then we ended up getting about a tenth and a half in the 40. Standing broad jump was up, vertical was tremendously increased by 4 inches, and his flexibility stayed pretty much the same. I'd like to see that get a little bit better as well. So flexibility, striking on the heels, and that lateral movement is going to be key going forward.